Andrew and I, from the very beginning, we have committed to being there for each other and supporting each other through anything and everything. And so even in the beginning of our marriage, I've had long periods of time where I didn't have a job, whether that was because I had quit a job or been impacted by mass layoffs, and Andrew was the one who had fully supported us through that. And so in the season where Andrew's in between jobs, I am more than happy to stand by him. And even through this transition, he did everything that he could to make sure that we're taken care of, whether that's from picking up part-time jobs, freelance gigs, helping me with all the back end of my social media platforms, and along with finishing his master's. And right now, he's working a full-time job that he very much loves, which I love for him, and it's already come with so many blessings. And the biggest one being us being able to move into this house where we get to start a new family. About the joke that he told before starting his sermon, I want everyone to know that we have so much care and respect for one another, and especially because we both have public-facing platforms. For me, it'd be online, and then for him, it's the church. We have a system that we set in place quite some time ago where we will always run things by each other, especially if we're going to be talking about each other or showing each other. And Andrew simply would never say anything that I wouldn't already be aware of or something that I wouldn't like. The more important thing I want to talk about here are the painful stories that many of you have been sharing regarding your hurt and pain that have been caused by abusive church cultures and church leaders. And I want to take a moment to honor that because it's so real, and it particularly breaks Andrew and my heart because we carry similar experiences of our own, and it's taken so much time for us to heal and process, and we're still going through that healing. And we're grateful to have found a church where we feel safe enough to at least continue that healing. And Andrew is so passionate about bringing health to the church, and he wants.
And did I think about what if I married rich?
Yeah.
During those hard times, probably. Like, wow, if I just married a really rich dude, this wouldn't be happening. And I'm like, damn, I am the really rich dude.
And she woke up, and the way that she like looked at me and like recoiled as if like I was stranger danger, I felt like she was terrified.
This person who lives in my house, and she cackles every time I'm speaking in Korean. I'm trying my best, but she loves to laugh at me, and not just laugh at me, but point it out and be like, what did you just say? Can you say that again? Oh my gosh, you sound so stupid. Hold on. And she'll pull out her phone and she'll record it, right? So some of you have had the honor of seeing me humiliate myself on the internet, right? If you've seen any of my wife's videos, and she enjoys this process of pointing it out, and it can be difficult. It's cruel, right? What kind of cruel person does this? And
today we're talking about Sarah Kim, the TikTok influencer with a massive following, and her marriage to Andrew Min. If you've been keeping up with Sarah's journey, you know that things haven't been as picture perfect as they may seem from the outside. In fact, the situation between Sarah and Andrew has gone viral for all the wrong reasons, and let me tell you, the truth is shockingly eye-opening. Sarah Kim is a beloved TikTok personality known for her family and lifestyle content. She is relatable, down to earth, and shares everything from her favorite outfits to heartwarming moments with her parents. Recently, her fans have been left in disbelief after hearing about the dynamics between Sarah and her husband, Andrew. Sarah is pregnant with her first child, and it's no secret that she's been working tirelessly, juggling 2 full-time jobs, managing her TikTok content, hosting a podcast, and handling all the household chores. Meanwhile, Andrew, he spends his time at home, playing games on his computer. Yes, you heard that right. While Sarah does it all.
First, I reached out to her dad in private. I was telling him I want to ask for his blessing to marry her. He was smiling, but the life went out of his eyes. 6-7 months in, I was so bored, stuck at home, and so I started playing games on my computer. 2 weeks before my wedding, I decided to buy a PC. I'm not making any money, so what?
Did I think about what if I married rich? Probably. I'm like, damn, I am the really rich.
Andrew is living a life of leisure. So, why is this such a big deal? Well, Sarah's fans have been left questioning why she's still with a man who seemingly doesn't contribute anything to their family, especially when she's pulling all the weight. But the most disturbing part, neither Sarah nor Andrew seems to have an issue with it, and that is where the real problem lies. Let's break it all down. Sarah Kim is a well-known influencer in the TikTok community with a large and dedicated following of 2.8 million people. She has built her platform by sharing relatable, down-to-earth content revolving around her lifestyle, family, and personal experiences. She frequently posts moments with her family, like cooking kimchi with her mom, which showcases her culture roots and family bonds. These types of videos are part of what makes Sarah so appealing to her audience, her ability to remain genuine and connected to her roots.
So I'm 20 weeks today, still have a whole 20 weeks left.
TikToks. However, there is more to Sarah than just her TikTok content. She's also a professional accountant, balancing a demanding career with her online presence. This reveals a deeper side to her work ethic, as Sarah doesn't just rely on her social media fame, she's committed to building a strong career outside of TikTok. Now, despite her success, she isn't resting on her laurels. Sarah is currently working 2 full-time jobs. She manages the responsibility of being an accountant while simultaneously staying on top of her social media content and podcast. Her dedication to providing for herself and her growing family is evident in her ability to juggle multiple professional commitments. Despite her extensive work and growing influence, the household dynamic with her husband, Andrew Min, is an ongoing concern for Sarah's fans. While Sarah is working tirelessly to maintain their lifestyle, fans have noticed that Andrew doesn't seem to contribute equally. This has raised questions about the balance in their marriage, especially as Sarah's pregnancy progresses. It is a stark contrast to Sarah's image of hardworking, family-oriented values and raises concerns about whether this partnership is truly supportive of Sarah's needs and aspirations.
And did I think about what if I married rich
Yeah.
during those hard times? Probably. Like, wow, if I just married a really rich dude, this wouldn't be happening. But I'm like, damn, I am the really rich dude.
Andrew Min is introduced as a seemingly well-educated and well-intentioned individual with a background in theology. He holds a master's degree in spiritual formation and soul care from Talbot School of Theology and has worked as a pastor in various capacities. Despite his educational achievements, his professional journey has not been financially stable. For example, he admits that his time delivering sermons at beloved church wasn't paid.
Goodness gracious. Today, as we start, I want to share with you something that I have been struggling with, and it's become a significant thing in my life. It's been really difficult. I have been trying to learn how to speak Korean, okay? And it's very hard, okay? I was born in Illinois behind a cornfield. I wasn't raised around a bunch of Korean people. My Korean is terrible, okay? And I practice, but I suck, and it's kind of embarrassing. And what doesn't help is that there's this person who lives in my house, and she cackles every time I'm speaking in Korean. I'm trying my best, but she loves to laugh at me, and not just laugh at me, but point it out and be like, what did you just say? Can you say that again? Oh my gosh, you sound so stupid. Hold on. And she'll pull out her phone and she'll record it, right? So some of you have had the honor of seeing me humiliate myself on the internet, right? If you've seen any of my wife's videos, and she enjoys this process of pointing it out, and it can be difficult. It's cruel, right? What kind of cruel person does this? And
this suggests that Andrew's financial contribution to the household might not be as consistent as Sarah's, which further highlights the disparity between their roles in the family. In fact, Andrew's approach to finances seems to have been one of the ongoing instability. After taking a sabbatical from ministry following a rough patch, it is unclear whether Andrew has been able to regain the financial security needed for a growing family. Currently, Andrew works as a congregational pastor at Westgate Church. But as mentioned, his position is not financially guaranteed. This creates a troubling picture when compared to Sarah's steady dual-income work ethic and has fueled the growing concern among fans that Andrew is not pulling his weight financially or other way. What is more, Andrew's lack of urgency in providing for their family is a point of frustration for many, as Sarah works 2 full-time jobs, manages her content and separates and prepares for the arrival of their first child. Andrew's position appears to be less focused on supporting the family financially and more on maintaining his own spiritual and personal pursuit.
I was really young and I was 23.
Yeah.
He had needs that I really just couldn't fulfill. And in my head, I said, no, I can fulfill those needs. But coming face to face with a reality that I simply can't was so humbling. But I communicated to him, love more than anything in the world, I want to. And it might take a lot of time, and it might take a lot more disappointment on your end and waiting, but just know that I really want to, and hopefully I can become a person that can eventually fulfill those needs for you. But until then, I do ask for grace and patience.
This has sparked conversation among fans who believe that this imbalance of contributions is a significant issue in their marriage, with many questioning how sustainable the dynamic truly is in the long term. Now, when it comes to relationships, expectations are an essential part of maintaining a healthy balance. Sarah, like many others, expected mutual care, support, and respect from her partner, especially considering the significant commitment to marriage. Unfortunately, the reality of Sarah and Andrew's relationship does not seem to align align with these expectations. And as we take a closer look at their relationship dynamics, it becomes clear that the level of support Sarah has received from Andrew has been less than ideal. One of the most notable red flags comes from their engagement ring. Engagement rings, traditionally seen as a symbol of love and commitment, are often chosen with great care and thought. However, in Sarah and Andrew's case, the ring Andrew gave Sarah was a family heirloom, a ring from his mother's previous divorce. What's more, Andrew did not take the time to resize or redesign the ring to fit Sarah's personal style or preferences. Instead, it was simply handed to her as is.
And that, so even with like the wedding ring, I wasn't making much money. I'm not someone who was financially super stable, but I did want it to be really meaningful. And what I did was I asked my mom if I could use her wedding ring because my parents are divorced. They had a painful ending to their marriage. And that's always kind of been something that has been a bit of a gray cloud over me. But when I thought of Sarah, it gave me so much hope for what marriage could look like. And it almost felt like a moment of redeeming a broken marriage. And when I asked my mom to use her ring, she was so moved. She was in tears, and it felt like a sacred thing. She'd been saving it all these years, never wearing it, never letting it go either, though. And it just happened to be this perfect, sweet thing where I could redeem some of our broken past and pain that we've experienced and tell her I want to build something beautiful and new, right? And so that's what we did. And luckily, my mom has a very simple, timeless style of ring.
Yeah, she's a very classy, chic lady.
Yeah.
That's so timeless. It's a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 prong.
Is this? I thought it was 5 prong.
6.
Oh, okay.
It's very.
This lack of effort in something as meaningful as an engagement ring could be seen as a sign of a deeper issue in their relationship, especially when Sarah herself had to take matters into her own hands to make the ring fit her. This pattern of disregard for Sarah's preferences and needs seems to continue throughout their relationship. Sarah has spoken openly about the challenges she faces with Andrew, particularly regarding their financial responsibilities and household duties. As Sarah works tirelessly, balancing her full-time job and managing their home, Andrew's actions seem disconnected from the reality of their situation. He's been accused of not stepping up when it comes to providing for the growing family or taking on his fair share of household responsibilities. This has led to increasing tensions and a growing sense of frustration for Sarah, who feels like she's shouldering the weight of their life together. Perhaps the most telling of these red flags comes from Andrew's actions during significant moments in their lives. When Sarah was pregnant and experiencing her first trimester, Andrew missed an important ultrasound because he was away on a trip with his friends. To make matters worse, Sarah had to foot the bill for his trip, further highlighting the lack of shared financial responsibility in their marriage.
Mm-hmm.
But then it seems like you're so far behind.
Mm-hmm.
Like you don't know or not concerned with, or you won't address the baby, you won't talk about the baby. You didn't necessarily ask me like, oh, like, how are you feeling? I needed you to ask me like 5 times a day or something.
This behavior raises serious concerns about Andrew's commitment to Sarah, not only as a partner, but also as a father-to-be. These moments of neglect and imbalance have been difficult for Sarah to reconcile, especially as she navigates the stress of pregnancy, work, and preparing for their child's arrival. All of this paints a picture of a marriage where Sarah is left questioning whether Andrew is truly invested in supporting her and their growing family. Fans who have watched Sarah's journey and invested in her story have expressed their concerns, urging Sarah to take control of her happiness and make decisions that align with her needs and aspirations. Now, Sarah and Andrew's first night as a married couple did not match the expectations that Sarah likely had for this milestone. While one would think that after getting married, the couple would spend their first night together, bonding and cherishing the moment, Andrew's behavior painted a starkly different picture. Instead of prioritizing his wife, Andrew chose to spend the night gaming, completely ignoring Sarah's presence. When Sarah tried to be patient, hoping that he would eventually come to his senses, he continued playing until 3 a.m. The frustration grew when Sarah, feeling ignored and neglected, decided to sleep on the couch. The next morning, Andrew was completely unaware of why Sarah was upset, which only deepened the realization for Sarah that perhaps Andrew's lack of consideration wasn't a one-time mistake, confirmed by Sarah's ongoing struggle in their marriage, especially considering how she has had to take on the responsibilities from managing finances to preparing for their future. It wasn't just about one night. Sarah soon realized that Andrew's selfishness and lack of emotional awareness were present in multiple aspects of their relationship, leaving her questioning the foundation of their marriage. The fact that this first night did not meet the expectations she had could be seen as a reflection of deeper issues that would persist throughout their relationship. Now, Sarah's financial aspirations and Andrew's lack of financial agency create a significant divide in their marriage. While Sarah works tirelessly to manage multiple full-time jobs, juggle her social media commitments, and even plan for their child's future, Andrew's priorities seem to be entirely different. Sarah is planning for the long-term financial security of their family, already thinking ahead to her child's college tuition, while Andrew remains concerned about whether they'll be able to cover their immediate expenses like paying rent. The financial imbalance between the two has become one of the most significant sources of frustration for Sarah. As she takes on the bulk of the financial burden, Andrew continues to spend his time on activities like gaming, without showing a desire to contribute meaningfully to their household. He seems comfortable with his arrangement, claiming that love is more important than financial stability, and citing his experiences growing up in poverty as justification for his low expectations regarding money. However, this doesn't align with Sarah's perspective. She sees the need for financial stability to provide for her child and their future. This divide in expectation is exacerbated by Andrew's apparent lack of agency or willingness to shoulder any responsibilities for their finances, which only intensifies Sarah's sense of frustration and resentment. Now, fans of Sarah have also noticed this disparity and have experienced concern, with many calling out Andrew's lack of contribution to the family, particularly given the demands Sarah faces in her work and personal life. Andrew's passive approach to financial matters in a time when Sarah needs active support is viewed by many as irresponsible and inconsiderate, further emphasizing the financial divide that exists in their relationship. Andrew's behavior, particularly the way he disrespects Sarah publicly, raises serious concerns about the dynamics in their marriage. Referring to Sarah as "this person in my house" during a sermon was a stark and humiliating example of how Andrew disrespects his wife. Publicly calling her cruel and accusing her of mocking him while he learned Korean is another troubling moment that shows a lack of appreciation for Sarah. Such public delays of respect are compounded by the fact that Sarah is the one working hard to support their family, managing a heavy workload while pregnant and dealing with her own emotional struggles. These incidents create a toxic environment where Sarah is left feeling unappreciated and unsupported by the person who should be her partner and biggest supporter. As Sarah continues to post about her life on social media, it is clear that she's not thrilled with the situation. In fact, she's been trying to convince herself that she's happy in this marriage, but her fans can see through it. They are constantly reminding her of the red flags and encouraging her to take control of her life and leave Andrew if she's unhappy. They want her to realize that she deserves better, but she deserves a partner who will support her emotionally, financially, and physically. And let's not forget Sarah's father, who has always been a beacon of love and support. Sarah frequently posts about her dad, showing how he's always been there for her, taking care of her, and providing the love and attention that Andrew seems to lack. Fans can't help but compare Andrew to Sarah's father, who has been the epitome of a loving, supportive husband and father. The big question now is, what is next for Sarah and Andrew? Will Sarah continue to put up with the lack of support, or will she finally realize that she deserves more? Will Andrew step up and become the husband and father Sarah and their unborn child need, or will Sarah eventually reach her breaking point and take the difficult decision to leave him? Whatever happens, one thing is clear: Sarah's fans are rooting for her to find happiness and peace. Whether that means staying with Andrew or moving on, it is heartbreaking to watch someone so hardworking and ambitious be held back by a partner who isn't contributing any meaningful way. So what do you guys think? Will Sarah be able to see the red flags before it looks too late, or will she continue to try to make things work with Andrew? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and do not forget to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more updates in this evolving story. Until next time, bye bye.